Hello everyone, and welcome to the Homepage Network. I'm Rhonda Pearson. On August 13th, residents and businesses in Troy, Pennsylvania suffered flooding when the Sugar Creek overflowed its banks, causing damage and concern. Many of the stories that followed had a common theme: people coming together to help each other and business owners in the Troy community. Very grateful for the volunteers. Ronald and Ken Kreis of Kreis Tires Incorporated operate one of the establishments that sustained damage that day. Homepage correspondent Amy Jones is with Ron Kreis.
Ron, you incurred a little bit of water damage here, didn't you?
Just a little, yes. About 32 inches of water inside the whole building.
And that came on pretty fast, right?
Yeah, within 20 minutes, 25 minutes, it came out of nowhere. They come across the walls out back that protect us from that water up over in the sale barn and Kreis's and the intersections. And yeah, within 20 minutes it was coming in, and we were trying to get things picked up off the floor. We weren't even thinking about evacuating yet, but within an hour you wanted to be out of here. And unfortunately, some of my sisters and my dad and my grandson were still here, and they had to go to the upstairs floor. And they ended up, before we were all done, had a boat rescue and left a big mess behind.
And at what point were you able to come back and survey the damages?
It was on Monday night. It was around 5:30, 6 o'clock before we were actually able to make it back through the parking lots and the mud and the muck and the debris and open the door up. And wow, what a surprise. Everything was just covered. I mean, when I opened the door up, I was ready to just close the door and walk away. It was that bad. And from there, it got better.
Right, you had a little bit of a surprise Monday night. Some people showed up.
Yes. Shortly after that, about the time I locked the door and was ready to just go home and see what was there tomorrow morning, a lot of people showed up. I don't know, 20 people, 30 people, shovels, brooms, hoses, buckets, backhoes. I said, what are you doing? I said, well, we're going to clean this out. I said, I don't think we can clean it out. But they persevered, and we stayed here all night till about 11:30, 12 o'clock, and got the biggest share of mud and stuff out.
And I even saw some people here on Tuesday still helping.
All day Tuesday, I had probably another 30 people, plus the local high school football team. 10, 20 guys come down with their coaches, and amazing. Them boys they can move stuff around. So if we wouldn't be this far along that we are now, we're hoping maybe to at least start doing some mechanical work and stuff on Monday.
What difference did it make to you and your family at the shop to have people come and support you in this time?
Well, that's a hard thing to talk about, and it makes you well up a little bit, and you just don't realize how good your community is until something like this happens. Tremendous. It's just a tremendous outpouring of love. I mean, for the community and your friends and family. We appreciate every one of them. I'd like to name them all, but there's so many that you just, I don't want to miss anybody. So it was wonderful.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story.
Well, thank you for checking it out. And there's a lot of work yet to be done, but we're going to make it.
After the break, we'll hear more about the community's efforts to clean up the mess, as well as the special way that First Citizens Community Bank chose to thank the volunteers. Stay with us.
Home is where your heart is. If you're dreaming of finding the perfect home, First Citizens Community Bank has the people and products to make it happen. We offer a range of down payment options, as well as options for different income levels. So whatever your situation, don't count yourself out. Our expert lenders make mortgages simple. We'll put our experience to work to find the right mortgage for your budget and lifestyle. You need solutions. That's what we deliver. First Citizens Community Bank. Your mortgage, your way.
Rick, you have quite a few locations that landed in the flood zone on Monday. Were you surprised by the severity of the water?
We were surprised. And it came up so fast. Things happened very quickly. A little after 1:30, and but from then on, over the next 45 minutes, things really happened fast.
Which locations incurred the most damage?
Right now, the location to our right, which is our industrial warehouse where we house a lot of our industrial products, our insulated concrete forms, and our sonotubes and our radiant heat panels. Most of that was actually washed out of the building. Much of it went down the creek that's behind us here. This parking lot, as we look at it, was full of debris material. Cars had gotten moved, and so a lot of damage to our lower warehouse. And behind me, there's the clothing store, and the water came up to the first floor. We were able to secure the front of the building with a mat at the door. The water was coming up on the building, but fortunately the windows didn't break. They held.
And in addition to your employees, you had some volunteers show up to help.
You know, at the point when things started to subside and people realized the severity of what was happening downtown, people were trying to assess employees whether they could get home or not. Certainly we needed to take care of everybody's safety first. But as the evening went on and all the way till dark, we probably had as many as 70 people that came to our location and just asked, what can we do to help? And the outpouring of just support and people and friends and customers and alike and family and just people pitching in and helping. What can we do? In between practices, the Troy football team came and they worked half in one warehouse and half in another warehouse where we've been able to, Cummings Lumber, Scott and Roy Cummings happened to have an empty warehouse that they said we could start moving things into.
What does it mean to you during this time of need to see the community come together like this?
You know, it's very humbling for all of us, you know, and even the employees to just see, you know, it's our friends, it's our customers, but it's our friends, it's our community, and people just come and help. And, you know, it's not only us, but, you know, all the businesses downtown here, and, you know, it's just a real community effort, and the outpouring of support. And then we've had calls from vendors and suppliers. We've had people from out of town call us and say we can mobilize equipment if you need, or, you know, so it just, but the people here in town is just, and our local community, because everybody's got issues and problems too, but for them to come and spend time here just really means a lot to all of us.
We'd like to take a moment to thank First Citizens Community Bank for facilitating a lunch for all of the volunteers on Tuesday. Veronica, what was it like to see all these volunteers come out and come together for the community?
It was great to see the community come together with the cleanup efforts throughout the town. I mean, there was numerous people at every business. So we had sent people from our office to work there, as well as our families. So we wanted to provide lunch the best we could, so we set up down in the Hoover clothing store.
There was a lot of involvement in this lunch as well.
There was. Vinny's Pizza is where we got the pizzas. They donated half the pizzas. First Citizens paid for half. We got drinks around, chips, candy. There was other donors that brought in hot dogs, hamburgers. It was a great effort, community effort.
Well, thank you so much for stepping up and helping out these volunteers who are also willing to help out.
Thank you.
Citizens of Troy and the surrounding area continue to relieve the workload for building owners that have incurred significant damage. The volunteer force that has come together during this challenging time has rapidly increased town cleanup and boosted morale significantly. This story is a true testament to the importance of neighbors who lend a helping hand. If you have the opportunity, take a moment to thank a volunteer. For the Homepage Network, I'm Rhonda Pearson.
You know, my bank is great. They made it so easy for Karen and I to buy our new home.
Well, my bank really knows my business. They made it easy for us to upgrade our equipment and purchase a new truck.
Yeah, well, the people in my bank know my name when I come in.
Yeah, well, my banker is available anytime I have questions.
Is that right?
Yes!
You do realize you both use First Citizens Community Bank, right?
First Citizens Community Bank, the bank everyone can agree on.